கவலை இல்லாம கலர் பிரிண்ட் பண்ணுங்க, அதுவும் மிக குறைஞ்ச விலையில. எப்சன் ஈகோ டேங்க் பிரிண்டர்ஸ். இது வெறும் ஃபேபுலஸ் இல்ல, இது டோட்டலி பிரிண்டபிளஸ்.
Speaker sir, if this bill is called Shanti bill, then poison can be called prasadam. That's what the equivalent is. Sir, in this bill, I have a better name for this bill, sir. This bill is actually limited private liability, unlimited public suffering bill, sir. We can call it loose bill. Sir, it doesn't matter how we expand our nuclear energy matters, sir.
10 minutes.
But how much we expand it? Sir, energy policy is not merely a question of megawatts or gigawatts, as you know, sir. It is a question of strategic autonomy, safety, accountability, and democratic control. Sir, nuclear energy, unlike any other sector, sits at the intersection of democratic civilian development and national security, sir. Decisions taken in this domain cannot be reversed easily, and hence, precisely the reason why this bill demands highest level of parliamentary scrutiny, sir. Sir, as you know very well, there are provisions in this bill which my other friends have also raised, especially the provision of limiting the liability of the private players. Sir, the moral question is, if profit is private, why pain is always public? Sir, here public pays, taxpayer pays, everybody pays, and the liability is capped for the private player. Sir, this liability capping is almost very simple. The bridge fails, then the contractor pays only half the amount or a certain cap, after which then it is taxpayers' money which has to compensate for all that. So, sir, there are major other issues that we have also raised, sir. It's the first time in Indian history this bill allows private companies to own and operate power plants. Sir, nuclear power plants. It opens the doors for joint ventures and foreign companies, so we have to be extremely careful, sir. So the government argues that these changes are necessary to meet India's ambitious nuclear capacity targets. Sir, we are also told that India needs around 100 gigawatts of nuclear power, but that actually deserves careful examination. So Indian nuclear expansion has historically been constrained not by ideology, sir, but by three real-world factors: financing, land acquisition and public consent, and international technology denial regimes. Sir, none of these problems are solved just by privatization. So financing challenges can be addressed through sovereign guarantees, green bonds, and public investment, as many other countries have done, sir. But public consent requires trust, transparency, and credible safety mechanisms. Trust that is harder to build when you have private players inside, profit-driven private players in this picture. Sir, what this bill does instead is to treat nuclear energy just like any other infrastructure sector, comparable to highways or telecom. Sir, this is a category error. Nuclear energy is not just another market. It involves radioactive materials, long-lived waste, and risk that no insurance market can actually truly price, sir. So energy security cannot be reduced to market efficiency alone. And I talked about the nuclear liability, and capping it to 300 STR is not at all accepted, sir. Around 3,900 crores. Sir, then we should ask this question: why now? As we had already pointed out, there has been tremendous external, strategic, and commercial pressures on the government to do this. So, in simple terms, sir, the government has sorted or yielded to these pressures, and especially to some friendly corporate houses. So, let me be very clear, sir. India has always been a very strong player in this area, having a very good regulatory mechanism. But right now, this bill has put everything under a big issue. Sir, also we should remember how our indigenous capability planning for a nuclear sector has been compromised by this. So the Indian nuclear program is not merely an energy project. It is a scientific and a technological ecosystem painstakingly built over decades through indigenous efforts under conditions of sanction, technological denial, and international isolation. Sir, actually what has happened, we know very well, sir. I don't have to go into the history of how all this came. India's three-stage nuclear program based on pressurized heavy water reactors using natural uranium, followed by fast breeder reactors, and ultimately thorium-based system. This whole ecosystem is now being affected by this particular bill, sir. So now what will happen, sir? One large-scale private participation is allowed, especially with foreign technology partnership. The entire logic of decision-making changes, sir. Private operators accountable primarily to shareholders. They will prefer imported proven reactor designs. All these new technology and systems will be coming, which will actually spoil our long-term planning for the nuclear sector, sir. So at the end of the day, we are going to be dependent on foreign reactor vendors, foreign spare parts, and foreign fuel assurances in a very critical sector, sir. Sir, and I don't have to even tell about the regulatory overstructure. The entire regulatory mechanism is completely compromised. The government controls the appointments, the government controls even the search committee. It is like the government, which is the primary promoter, is also the regulator and also the person who allows justice mechanisms. If there is something which is going wrong, people are not even allowed to file a complaint. Even the players, civil society, or anybody who is affected cannot go and complain about any issue regarding this matter. The government needs to approve who will make a complaint on these matters. I don't really understand what is this logic of putting a restriction on the justice mechanisms as such, sir. In fact, I really don't understand and also my friend Arun Nehru had talked about the effect this bill will have on the pricing of the electricity which comes out of these reactors. So in fact, I have also seen the government has made a provision in this bill to actually regulate that price of the this thing. So the Honorable Minister will also have to explain why this provision was brought inside this bill of regulating the pricing, where the normal regulators are kept aside and it is a bill. Sir, I just want to bill is basically, sir, what we are actually asking is, we are not against energy security, sir. We are not against all this. But the point is, this bill requires scrutiny. This bill requires clause by clause reading. So we request the Honorable Government to rewrite the bill with full liability, with proper independent regulation, with open courts and honest disclosure. Sir, no development is worth health issues in this country for its citizens. So my request is, please put the bill to stronger scrutiny for a committee, or please rewrite the bill again. Thank you.